Well, hey there, campers. Welcome to Camp Video Games. This is a podcast that reviews video games and their multimedia adaptations. And today we're 7 episodes deep into our extensive review retrospective of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of
Mhm.
Time. I'm Junior Camp Counselor Sean, and with me is Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Hey, what's up, campers? That's right. Junior Camp Counselor Josh here. In this episode, we're about to talk about the Shadow Temple, the bottom of the well. I just rewatched the season 3 episode of The Simpsons where Bart fakes being stuck in a well
Uh huh.
and then he ends up in a well. So there's a lot of boy in a well stuff going on in my life right now. So I'm just going to advise, like, don't do what Bart did.
Right.
Don't pretend to fall down. This is serious business, bottoms of wells. There's monsters, there's ghostly monsters, there's like demon monsters down there. So
What's that? What's that, Lassie? What's that? You say links in the bottom of the well?
now I'm wondering, since you mentioned how many episodes we've done on Ocarina of Time, I'm like, if we do a mega cut of this, will it officially be the longest Ocarina of Time retrospective on YouTube?
Not even close. There's got to be some sickos out there that have dedicated way more time to this.
And then,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, and if you cut out all of our divergences into other nonsense, would it still qualify? Anyways, that being said, this is a podcast that I'm trying to remind people you can listen to it anywhere. We goofed up for about a year and a half, and only put
Don't
it on
talk about
YouTube.
our mistakes. Talk about the developments.
Well, I'm just trying to tell people, if they're finding this on YouTube and they're like, that's a little cumbersome, I prefer a podcast I can take a walk with because I don't care as much
yes.
about the visuals. Put them in my pocket. That's all up to date and fixed now.
That's right.
Go
We're
subscribe.
podcasting a wide net here.
We're a podcast that's actually a podcast now. Anyways,
and this is all leading up to the eventual discussion of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time manga, which is our adaptation, because that's what we always do here. We like to find something that's got an adaptation so we can talk about both of them.
And our my 10-year-old Chibis here is she's knee deep in that manga right now. It's disappeared. Sean brought me a copy and I have no idea where it is in the house because she's been plowing through it.
That's the only one I'll bring you.
I think it's in her room, but I don't know how deep she is into it, but we might invite her back for her own review.
Yes.
So it's interesting because she has not played this game.
Right, but
she's
she has
reading
played
the
Breath of
story
the
it.
Wild and Link's Awakening.
Yeah. And we'll see what she thinks of it as a standalone story, not having played the game.
That's the important part.
And then maybe someday there'll be a remake for her to play. She'll go, I know that story.
Yeah.
She'll be like, they left this part from the comic book out.
I noticed that this video game doesn't have page numbers.
Yeah. But in this episode, we're, again, bottom of the well, Shadow Temple is what's up next in the game.
Ooh, the ring. Samara is the creepy girl in the well, too. What else is... Let's talk about well media.
What's your favorite well media?
My favorite well is well tequila. Or maybe, I don't like... Well, I like a burger well done. I don't like a steak well done. I like a medium rare steak.
I grew up on well done burgers. It was good. It took me... I've only had a grill for like a year and a half. It took me like 2 attempts to be able to... No offense, Dad, but make better burgers than.
Hey, if you're not improving on your parents, then you're only doing bare minimum.
But anyways, we need to get into the bottom of a well. This is where the Song of Storms, story-wise, canonically factors in.
Yeah. So what the way I played it through, you finish the water temple. You narrowly avoid getting married to a fish.
Yes.
And then Navi gives you kind of a vague hint. She's just like, hey, let's go ask someone what to do, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to, let's see, you go to Kakariko Village, and it's raining, and it's spooky. And tell me if I'm getting the order right, because I'm actually a little hazy, because sad news is that my Nintendo Switch bricked.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to replay this section as recently as I would have liked to. It's been a couple of weeks since I did the well. So tell me if I'm doing this in the right order, Josh.
Well, actually, what's interesting is I think there's not necessarily a right order, because there's 3 or 4 pieces of this operation you have to engage in. I believe, because I didn't do it in this order either. I think I went straight to go play the Song of Storms that I had learned my first visit to Kakariko Village as an adult. I went and played it for the guy in the well just straight away because I knew I had to go do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like right after getting the grapple hook, probably, or
yeah,
the hook shot. I'm
yes,
sorry.
that's when I did that. And then I came back to Kakariko Village, and that's I believe when Sheik was there and was like, "There's
The well's
monsters
fucked
about.
up.
There's bad stuff in this well."
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a designated order at all. You have to do it. I think as soon as you have the
Interesting.
Song of Storms, you can go down there and fish out the item that you need from down there. As I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the footage here.
So okay, so Kakariko Village was originally founded by the Sheikah, and I forget if Impa is responsible for founding Kakariko Village. But I know that there's a link between, no pun intended, there's a link between Kakariko Village and the Sheikah people. And
Yes.
Impa's the only one we see besides Sheik.
Yeah, this is like this section of the game is some of the best like implied environmental storytelling
Yeah, yeah.
that exists in Zelda. I think we talked about this a little bit with the water temple where I didn't feel like there was much sense to why this space existed.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless it's a prison or it's a training grounds for the
Yeah.
Zora like warriors, maybe.
And the Shadow Temple is a very cool. I think the Shadow Temple is my favorite. Let's just get that out early.
Heck yeah.
And I will talk about more why when we get to the actual like temple proper. But
So
aside from just its goth vibes, there's some really interesting stuff about it.
so to go through it, like the well's going all crazy. Sheikah's like, hey, like look out, there's like something going on here. And do you then, as because that happens when you're an adult, obviously, because
Yeah.
you're talking to Sheik. So you then this is the first time in the game where you have to go back in time.
Yes.
And I thought that was a really interesting. I mean, the first time I played this, that blew my mind. I was like, wait, I could go back to being a kid?
Yeah.
Like
I can go do some Chrono Trigger stuff. But like
Um,
the idea of I think I had been doing the whole bounce around, be a boy thing, just because it's kind of exciting. Like because you can do it as soon as you beat the Forest Temple, I believe. They'll let you
That's
go
right.
back. And I think I was sort of excited to explore back and forth, but in this particular playthrough, yeah, no, I'm on a mission. I know what I'm doing, and I just like it's like okay, I gotta go get in the bottom of the well. Let's go be a kid.
do you have the guidebook handy?
You know, it's upstairs
Ah.
because I was playing upstairs and I needed it.
Okay. The not the handy Gandy, the handy gan. No, dang it, the handy dandy guidebook. That's hard. That's a tongue twister.
The Ganon Dandy Hide book.
Yeah. So okay, little boy Link fell in a well.
Yeah.
And
So
the water source for Kakariko is disgusting. That's their water. That's their well. Don't drink that water. There's like green goo and flying skulls everywhere.
it's quite
It's a bad
disgusting.
place.
It's dependent on just a lot of bizarre contraptions in this windmill for some reason that can just drain it by a song being played. It's very bizarre.
It's like, I guess it's kind of like working like a sump pump.
I don't know.
Legend of Zelda and the sump pump
And the
of
guy with
time.
the guy with the organ grinder that's like connected to the like the core.
I think,
I don't know.
man, the organ grinder is a funny character because like he's like always angry at Link
Right.
after his childhood just because he made it rain. But like you need rain. Is he just blaming the rain on the kid? Like every time it rains, he's like that freaking little
Yeah, that
elf-
boy
that-
played that song
that
again.
fairy boy with his stupid song.
Yeah, I think we already had the chicken or egg conversation.
Oh yeah, no,
about
we
the
covered that
song.
part, but
Yeah.
it's just interesting that his life is ruined by Link,
Yeah.
and like he will never forgive a
like-
child.
If his life seems to be standing in this room playing an organ grinder, and he's still doing it 7 years into the apocalypse. So it's like, I mean, how mad should you really? I think this is some misplaced anger on behalf of the Storm of Songs organ grinder man.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the well is probably the strangest Zelda dungeon to date at this point in the game in the series development. It's full of trap holes that you can't see that are very arbitrarily placed.
Yes. It's very
Um,
punishing and it requires a lot of backtracking if you're not careful.
it's very fascinating. It feels extremely out of place in the moment, which again, if you're a kid in 1999 or just I always forget 98 or 99 when this
98.
published 98, and you're playing this for the first time, it's genuinely
Oh
spooky,
yeah.
both in the art direction of the space and how disorientingly um it's sort of realistic in like yeah, this is what a sewer might be laid out like,
Yeah, sure.
but then with all these extra like trap doors and holes and it's a little spooky. I
Yeah.
remember being spooked out by this part of the game as
I
a child.
I remember when I first got Facebook, probably what, 2006 or 5 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Um I
Did you
was
you post asking for help with the well because you were too
it,
scared?
Can someone come over and play the well for me while I hide my face in my under the blanket? No, I was following some like online like an early social media trend. It was like tag your favorite like spooky season video games
Yeah.
because it was around Halloween, and I shared a photo of Phantom Gammon, and I was like I think Ocarina of Time's a spooky game, and like that started a conversation, like an earnest conversation for once,
Hmm.
where people were talking about Ocarina of Time, and they're like, no, it's like it's got some true horror to it.
Yeah, there and the sort of what's the word? Not trend. The consensus amongst Zelda fans is no, like Majora's Mask is the weird spooky one, and I'm
Well,
like,
it's weirder and
and I'm like,
spookier.
no, dude, it's all here. There's so much just bizarre, a little unsettling stuff in Ocarina of Time that can make a intended audience aged child quite disoriented.
For
It
sure. I
wasn't
mean,
like giving me nightmares, but I was like, this is a little unsettling, you
this
know?
and this level has one of the scariest monsters on the
Oh
Nintendo
yeah.
64.
Scarier than Resident Evil 2?
Um, yeah, I'd say so. Because what makes Resident Evil 2 less scary is that there's an explanation for what those monsters are and where they come from.
Yeah.
In this case, we've got these redeads and then the mini boss, the well monster.
Yeah, that guy's a freak, man.
Yeah.
And especially when you fight him as a child. I didn't die, but I struggled for a few minutes to like figure out how to hit him.
Yeah. Can you scrub to that footage?
Yeah, before I go on though, I want to talk about like the amount of detail added
Oh
by
yeah.
the 3DS version and then like upscaling it. Like there's this poisonous water that has all these things sticking out of it that I didn't understand in the N64 version, and in this version they're very clearly like skeletons with like just the feet or
Yeah.
hands reaching out that are firmly planted in the ground beneath the poison swamp water or whatever's going on.
They almost look like
Um,
hands outstretched as if they're like, let me out.
there's a lot more clear detail in the aesthetic of just like death and skulls and skeletons throughout here and the Shadow Temple. It's very effective. It's very nice. But anyway, yeah, we want to find that weird freak boss. Who knows how long it took me to find it?
It's the way that the
'Cause
fight
I got a little
begins.
lost.
It's like a jump scare when you have to start fighting this guy.
Yeah.
You walk into a room and it's just like an empty, like cavernous like looking room, and then like wow, this freak with big scary arms and like it's classic Japanese horror where like the exaggerated features make what could be a very normal looking thing like incredibly unsettling. It
Mhm.
reminds me of like the artwork of like Junji Ito, like
Mhm.
who like nailed what it is to make creepy manga.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience here, I pulled the footage up right when I walked in the room. I walk in, I immediately get grabbed by this just disgusting hand coming
Ugh.
out of the ground, and then
Milky white
the camera
clawed hand.
pulls over to this guy who looks like a I don't know if like the judge from Blood Meridian
Uh-huh.
like became a like Baron Harkonnen slug
Oh,
guy. It's like
gross.
both of them fused
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Oh,
It's
what's even creepier is that the body of the monster doesn't have hands itself. It just has like these
yeah,
talons,
it's got
and
these.
its hands are what's ugh, it's so
The
gross.
wall is made out of skulls that have been crushed into it. It's really bizarre. I think this is the point to bring up what I really loved and was fascinated by this playthrough with the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple. I wish I had like taken some time to research this because I see a ton of early influence of FromSoft's like Souls like Bloodborne,
Yeah.
Elden Ring stuff in this section of the game. Not just like the art direction, but like this entering this boss was the first reminder. Is like with those games, there will be a lot of moments where you're just kind of like, I'm exploring, I'm hoping I make it to the next checkpoint, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes this jump scare of a boss who just destroys you in like 2 hits, you know?
Yeah.
This feels like an early prototype of something like that. Of you're just wandering this space, you're not sure if you're going the right way, and then you open the door and bam, this thing just starts wailing
And it's
on
the
you.
scariest possible monster. I don't know
Yeah.
what's scarier than this. Like besides like the concept of like of the void
Mhm.
is just this. It's such an unsettling like. Yeah, the judge Blood Marie. And I also see a lot of the priest from Poltergeist 2.
Uh-huh.
He's just a creepy old guy. Very very unsettling. And that's what rewards you the lens of truth, which is
Yes.
the item you want for this. Oh, and throughout the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, all of the like levels, quote unquote, are temples. This is
Mhm.
a dungeon proper.
That's true. Yeah.
We are
Um,
dungeon crawling in here.
yeah, and to that point of environmental storytelling, this one does it in a way that it indeed raises questions of like why, how, who, instead of just like this space makes no sense
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, I guess like there's a sewer system, but then as you go a little deeper, it becomes a little bit more of this like ritualistic cult dungeon. Um, Reminds me a little, man. I'm on one today of like referencing other things that are also a little spooky to me. I rewatched season 1 of True Detective
Uh-huh.
recently. I don't know if I've talked about it on
I
here,
don't
but
think so.
God, dude, it's so good. Like I've been thinking a lot about like media that defines how weird it feels to live in the current moment. And True Detective is so ahead of its time by coming out like 2014-ish. And it's like about unhinged detective, spoiler alert, uncovering that there's like an elite cabal of PDF files
Uh-huh.
deep in the south of like, oh, I think there might be like it's like maybe like state or national senators who are involved in like ritualistic child torture that they capture on film and these cult
Huh.
things.
Well, luckily it's just a TV show and that doesn't
Yeah.
have it in real life.
I mean, granted, like uh what's the movie that I'm thinking of? Eyes Wide Shut.
Mhm.
Did that, Stanley Kubrick was murdered for it.
Yes, he was.
JK. JK, not really, but maybe. And I don't know, it's wonderful, but like there's they shot it down way deep in like the south, I think Louisiana, maybe a little bit Texas, where the final like showdown is in this space that I think is like degraded, maybe Civil War forts or something, that like gives you this same sort of sense as this well in Zelda of like, why was this here? What was this used for?
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
it's like a little
it's
creepy to get lost in it,
I
you
think
know?
I think in the story wise, it's the Sheikah people's like torture chamber dungeon, like
Hmm.
in line with the Shadow Temple, where the bloody history of Hyrule lies.
All its secrets get
Yeah,
buried.
yeah. And the Sheikah, I mean, being a very underrepresented like race in this game because you've got the Hylians, the Gorons, the Zora, and the Kokiri, the Gerudo, and then the Sheikah, and they're like we only see Impa, and
Hmm.
so like they're this like lingering like reminder of like this is a lived in world that has people that have disappeared from it, and they've left a legacy that's complete mystery.
Which that's like consistent from the series.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
if we go to like Breath of the Wild, we only see Sheikah other than Impa
Survivors.
in flashbacks,
Um
right? There's like because in the 100 years
oh, and then
previous, those are still Sheikah,
who's
right?
the little cutie pie that turned into a kid that was
Oh,
also
what's her
an
name?
old woman?
We know who. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. She's a Sheikah as well.
I don't
Or
remember.
is she just a scientist?
She might just be a scientist who was interested in their tech.
Yeah, yeah, much like the other guy who has a crush on his robot.
Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah.
And so that is sort of a defining factor of Zelda from here on. Is
True
like
that, yeah.
Sheikah are not something you're ever going to hang out with. They're always going to be just a mystery that explains a lot of like old tech or whatever.
Right.
Old history.
So the bottom of the well, the main reason for going there is to get the lens of truth. And once you're there, it's like, let's get out of here.
Mhm.
And as a kid, I don't know if I'm gonna bring this up any other point, but like after that point, I wanted to take like a break from dungeon crawling, so I started doing the magic bean side quest. And
I ain't doing that one. It's too much money.
it's too much money.
I'm not raising money.
Yeah. But what that does for you as a player is you find this this guy munching down on magic beans.
Oh man,
at the
I do love that
entrance-
guy though.
The entrance to Zora's domain, and he's a savvy businessman because the first bean's 10 rupees, next one's 20, I think, and then it just keeps going up and up. And his dialogue
Find
changes.
a man, baby.
His dialogue changes where he's like, "You want magic beans? Like they're not that popular, but whatever,
Yeah.
they're for sale." And then once you're spending like more than 100 rupees on him, he's like the ultra popular like thing. I'm like, I'm the only customer,
Yeah.
and I think Link should. I mean, this is one of the disadvantages to being non-communicative is that you can't like haggle.
Yeah.
Like you got to be like, no, man, I just paid 5 rupees for this.
Well, and
like,
then
give me a break.
Furthermore, he's munching down aggressively on something, which I would most likely assume are his beans.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, who's killing the supply here? Like, he's just aggressively throwing those things in his mouth,
All right.
nonstop. So
You learn this. Biggie
Induced
taught
demand
us
is-
this back in the 90s.
Never get
high on your own supply.
he's just, yeah, man. But unless you're
The
gonna
10 bean commandments.
is the 10 bean commandments. Anyways, that's enough of bean guy.
Bean guy, but so the beans, what happens is you plant the magic beans in these soft patches of soil that you can find throughout Hyrule, and I think there's 10 of them altogether, and they'll lead you to pieces of hearts or to gold sculptulas. Whoop-dee. But it's just another excuse to just stretch the game time. And this is one of the, like, I think talking about like Ocarina of Time and like completionists, I understand the drive to get all the hearts and to get all the goodies, but it's just not a hard enough game to need it.
No.
Where it's just like I start feeling silly where I'm like, I'm not a baby. I don't need this many hearts.
I genuinely appreciate the adventurous sort of inspiration of the bean thing.
It's Jack and the Beanstalk.
Well,
I traded my cow for some magic beans.
I mean more in like exploring this world they've built.
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
more. It's like, yes, as an adult at a 10,000 foot view, how we like joke about like it just looks like a little like Minecraft world box,
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, but as a kid, but when we didn't have a million worlds like this to explore that were 1,000 times bigger than this game, like getting on those things and then having it float and be like, oh, that's how I get up
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
It's like that is a very magical discovery.
Right. Because you plant the beans as a kid, and then you come back as an adult, and they've grown. Link steps on the like lily pad kind of thing, and it floats around. It's just a flying carpet.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So
And then we get back to is this Nibelheim?
yeah, this I pulled up the footage when I did make it to Kakariko, and it's burning, which is weird because there's no consequences to this. After this cutscene, like everything else is like you can go back and it's totally
They're
normal.
like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What, your house doesn't catch on fire every couple weeks?
It's just like this piece of the well explodes, everything's burning around it, but then there's no consequences to it. Um, and this is when I guess Sheik teaches you that like you need to go down there because there's something evil down there. Sheik tells you, but if
She?
you do this in I guess the intended order, you would go down there as adult Link, discover there's a hole here, but I don't fit through, so I got to figure out how to get down here as a kid. I think is what they wanted me to do, but I knew what I was doing, so I skipped all.
It's all good, buddy. That's the beauty of this game is you can play it your own way.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cutscenes though. Like it makes the situation look a lot more intense than it really is because the shadow thing comes out and assaults like Sheik by flipping their body around.
Yeah, it does like The Exorcist,
Yeah.
where she's like being possessed, or like, I guess possessed in, not in like the like my brain is taken over by a monster, but like I am being grabbed by an invincible monster and just
Yeah.
thrown around.
Gives Link a full-on concussion that Sheik has to wake him up from. And then tells him like this is where the evil is. We got to figure something out in this village. But yeah, as soon as this cutscene's over, it's like everything's fine.
It's
like,
all
you just
good.
keep moving. Doing your
It
thing.
rained. Our house isn't on fire anymore.
I guess that it is raining in the end of the
Yeah.
cutscene. To be
And,
fair,
most of the people that live here are just construction workers anyway.
yeah.
Well, but they're over by Gerudo Desert.
These guys they get around, which is like another fun thing to notice was
Mhm.
carried over to Breath of the Wild. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
this style of like I don't know. LGBTQ adjacent construction companies,
Sure, yeah.
or just dead on. Like they're just like I love these guys. We already talked about this in another episode.
They're cutie patooties, and they know how to swing a hammer.
Yeah, there's some serious representation in the construction workers throughout the Zelda series.
Without them being a joke.
Exactly.
It's very maturely and appropriately handled.
Yeah.
Good on you, Nintendo.
And so, I forgot. Sheik teaches you the Nocturne of Shadow, which is like almost like it's weird. They put these like multiple layers to block you out of the Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
First, you can't learn this song that gets you in until after the Water Temple, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, because this,
Like, if I'm
this
playing out
cinematic doesn't happen until after you beat the water temple.
I'm wondering, like, if I play out of order, would it give me this cinematic if I had done just the Water Temple and not either like the fire or the forest? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let us know in the comments,
Yeah,
campers,
somebody
if you're
let me know.
a master of this game. What ways can we boundary break or figure out like how to kind of manipulate the storytelling in this game?
Yeah, and I'm thinking like glitchless. Can you do this before you've done the other three temples?
Yeah.
'Cause I just never tried, but because you have to play the song to get over the wall. There's no hook shot attachment or anything
Okay.
to get up into the Shadow Temple. But then for some reason they put a second barrier of that room full of torches that you have to light with Din's fire, just to make it so that there's one reason in the game to need Din's fire, which I think is like, again, environmental storytelling wise, like putting a puzzle as to only people who can wield this magic can enter this space is cool. But like practically it's like, well, you already put one barrier for me to get in here. So
Yeah,
like, who
yeah.
cares? Why don't you need to make me go on another quest?
I mean, every dungeon has kind of a barrier, to get to the fire temple and the forest temple. You need a hook shot, and then and the water temple you need the hook shot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like
This is the first one where you don't need an item to get in. You need a spell and a
you need a
push.
music spell and a fire spell.
Yeah.
You need two of them for some reason.
I wonder if you could use the fire arrows only without having to use Din's fire.
I don't think so. I think there's too many that they'd start going out.
Yeah.
So I think I went in there, realized I didn't have it, and then backtracked to you got to do it as Child Link because it's one of the fairy fountains that is on the Hyrule Castle property grounds.
That's right. Yeah.
So you can only do that as a kid because
And you need the bombs to get that.
Yes. If you go as an adult, it's a little too spooky. You can't that stuff that fairy's gone.
Yeah.
So you got to go get that real quick. And
She
then
gets evicted by Ganondorf after he takes power.
Yeah. Then we can go into the Shadow Temple.
Shadow Temple. Yeah, this is like specifically like a torture chamber. It's a macabre, spooky house that's got like I mean, it looks kind of like Danzig's house.
It's again my I think favorite in the game.
It's pretty streamlined too.
Yes, and that is why I think it's my favorite. It's both it's streamlined, but it's also okay. So I it does this thing that is then like used over and over again by again FromSoft games where you have to like fight through all these difficult but pretty like streamlined spaces. And then if you're savvy and you're looking around, you can use the natural like architecture to open a shortcut to skip all of that.
Oh, nice.
But if you do need to use the shortcut, like if you die and you have to go back, the navigation to get to the shortcut is not like super obvious. It's a little bit hidden to like find the shortcut. You have to go through like multiple hidden walls that can only be unleashed by the Mask of Truth or whatever. And then you have to like fall down a pit. And I'm like, oh, this is so like I did this like a million times playing Bloodborne, you know, like where you have to like sneak through and run, and then you have to remember the pathway to the shortcut. That like I don't know. I alluded to this earlier. It's like I wish I'd done like read some developer interviews from like FromSoft people to be like see if they liked Ocarina of Time, basically. Like
Sure, I
how
bet they
much were
did.
you guys into this game? Because this is, I think, as at least in like a blockbuster game or whatever, the first like 3D adventure game to establish that format
Oh, of
of like
course.
you're going to go through this difficult corridor, and if you're savvy, you can find a shortcut to do it a lot faster next time if you lose. That's I don't know. I think they took a lot from this game.
Uh, so Link goes through this spooky dungeon. He has to fight the well monster again,
Yeah, which
and
is fun to see how much easier it is as an
that's
adult.
right. Yeah. So the big item in the Shadow Temple proper is it's the hover boots, which is an interesting choice for like I guess it's almost like in a place that has all these like hidden walls and like in the well, right? There's like these hidden pitfalls that if you didn't have the lens of truth,
hmm
you just fall right down. The hover boots are like a little insurance against
I didn't even
those.
think about that. I wear them as little as possible.
Or they're miserable to wear to walk around when you don't like necessarily need them because you're so everything. It's like walking on ice in a
Yeah,
video game. It's very floaty.
yeah. They're
Hover boots. Haha, it's floaty.
they're floaty. They only go like an extra 3 feet, so they're only really useful for like the 3 or 4 puzzles that are designed
That's
to
right.
be like, did you put your hover boots on?
It's one of the least interesting items like gameplay
They're
wise.
completely useless after this
Yeah.
temple. And even here, it's like it's weird that like you get the item so early that it like the you getting the item is almost your entrance into the temple proper. That like it's within this first corridor of rooms. They're like, here's
Hmm.
your item. Now you can go in the temple, and then the
Yeah.
rest of it is more like a like contraption trap enemy gauntlet than
Yeah.
it is a like puzzle solving exploration.
I love it. I remember one of my early like Ocarina of Time memories. I was playing and not from the first time. I'm misrepresenting it. It was 2008 probably. I was playing this with my girlfriend at the time, and the way that we would play through a Zelda game is she wanted to solve the like the like she liked the box pushing puzzle stuff.
Oh,
Um
bless her heart. I hope she's an accountant now.
I don't think so. Um, but and I like to do the combat stuff, and we,
Uh-huh.
we played through Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and we beat it that way, where it's like anytime there was a fight, she'd like hand the controller to me,
Yeah.
and that was a very special time. But I do not wish her well.
That's like me and the Chibis playing Final Fantasy. She's in the room. When we play Final Fantasy and the fights come up, you hand me the remote and go, I don't know. And then I do it.
That's right.
She does the fun story parts.
Hey, video games are for sharing. You don't need a
That's
player
right.
two.
There's no wrong way
necessarily.
to play as long as you're having fun. That's
right.
the rule. I say often around this house.
That's the rule.
Like if you're not having fun anymore, you got to put the control down. Anyway, back to the Shadow Temple though. I love how metal this room with the spinning
the Grim Reapers.
Grim Reapers with giant scythes is. Definitely a standout moment from this temple where solving it's quite easy. It's one of these puzzles where there's silver rupees, and when you see the giant silver rupees, it means get them all in the room, and
They're
you will
not
open a
worth
secret.
any money. They're just there for...
Oh, do they not give you money?
I don't think so.
My wallet is always full because I never spend money.
Because you're not buying beans. My bean budget's out of control right now.
So I had no idea if they give you money or not.
I mean, beans are great, man. They're high in fiber. They're a natural plant protein. Beans are one of the best foods on the earth.
I do love my beans.
Yeah.
But actually, it's in this room with the spinning scythe is where you will discover the shortcut. So you can go down there now at the beginning, and then you can keep going down, and you will find a place where there's a platform that's blocking you. But it gives you enough information to tell you this is a platform you can probably move. And you're in this cage where you can then see further in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I love this so much.
It's great.
This is like my favorite room in Ocarina of Time.
That leads to the pirate ship.
It leads to the ferry over the river Styx that you have to take later, which is like a whole other fun environmental storytelling of like, at this point, are we truly like in the like spiritual realm?
Oh,
you know?
Interesting.
Is this even like Hylian quote unquote made,
or is this like
point?
or are
we dealing with the gods? You know, the afterlife,
like on par with like what is Termina in Majora's Mask? Like what is the Shadow Temple?
Right. I really, this is absolutely one of my favorite moments in the game. It's like discovering this shortcut.
I love to hear that, buddy.
It's brilliant.
And
it's again, every FromSoft game now does this, and now I'm playing Sekiro, and like the way they'll do it is you'll run around and you'll say this door doesn't open from this side, which actually I guess they all kind of do that, but like they say it a little more explicitly, but it's the exact same design of like you'll go somewhere, you go, I can't keep going, but I know if I come from the other side, I bet this will be a shortcut. It's so great.
Josh, I'm watching your footage, and I didn't know that you could duck under the scythe.
What?
Yeah, I always timed it. I would roll under it. It never occurred to me to use my shield to duck.
That's hilarious.
And I've played this a lot. I feel very silly.
But yeah, once you discover that shortcut, you get your hover boots.
Ooh, and then you meet mummies.
Yeah. For the most part, you just kind of press on through a lot of there's a real grindy spot of a lot of guillotines falling, platforming challenges, open pits, and like moving platforms you have to use your lens of truth to see so you know where to take a leap of faith. And man, it's so good. This is by far best dungeon in the game. Who designed this one? You get a prize from me.
The mummies are an interesting inclusion too, because they could have very easily just used redeads. Because the redeads are essentially just, I mean, the mummies are reskinned redeads, and I don't quote me on this, but I think this is the only level where you see mummies.
I have no idea. I thought maybe they didn't think any further than like, oh, we got to use Gibdos somewhere, which are just their word for mummies.
Oh, right, Gibdo.
I just assumed they were like, oh, shoot. I think they had the same reaction of, we forgot to put Gibdo in the game, but we already made these weird zombie guys.
Yeah.
Let's just reskin them.
Speaking of Gibdo, I just reminded like how cool the Gibdo are in Tears of the Kingdom. Like that they gave them the bug like theme for it. That's a really cool way to kind of like retcon them into like making sense in this world.
Yeah. But now that my footage is caught up to that like guillotine gauntlet thing, some further comment here. It is probably the most well, no, because we mentioned the fire temple where if you accidentally fall while platforming, it's pretty punishing, but this is punishing again in a very like, I don't know, from softy way, where it's like, oh, you didn't do the whole gauntlet at once. Now you got to go way back to the beginning and either like run past the enemies and ignore them or deal with all these fights again and all this platforming again. Because if you fall off in this room, it's like big open room with all these guillotines. It sends you all the way to the top of this corridor
Ugh.
where you had to run through, I think 3 or 4 of those are the spider enemies that drop down. I
The
don't know if they
Skulltulas.
Oh yeah, just the regular Skulltula, which I do hate that part because the challenge of the Skulltula is like, can you be patient? Can you wait?
Not necessarily. If you hit them with their hook shot, they'll die
Oh,
immediately.
I didn't know that. Okay. I thought that was a little tedious, but I did appreciate like, oh no, you're really making me do this whole challenge again if I mess up. I think that's
Aesthetically, this particular chamber reminds me a lot of the minecart section from Resident Evil 4. I know you haven't played that, but I have to put that on paper because
Yeah.
it's a iconic part of the game. And yeah, just this giant like cavernous chamber that you're like, why is this like this?
Yeah.
It also reminds me very much of like when the hobbits are escaping from Mordor, or I'm sorry, Moria.
Yeah.
Just this unrelated, just like
All these just
what are we doing
narrow,
here?
yeah, these like narrow tracks, and that's where I'm saying like this is more effective than the water temple for me environmentally, like suggesting like how much of this was made by man, how much of this was like just natural or just old civilization like the mines of Moria, you know.
Yeah,
I really I like it a lot.
it's good stuff.
And on the note of Resident Evil 4, I mean, there's that new Resident Evil movie coming. That might be the one that
Oh
we play
boy,
alongside it. I don't know.
it's interesting because some more details about that have come out since last we talked. That the game the movie is taking place during the events of Resident Evil 2 in
Mm.
Raccoon City, but it's not a direct adaptation of any particular game. It is just
Not gonna
set
be
in
about
the
any of those people.
world.
I saw the clip of the director talking about it. Is like I made it to be as if I were in that situation of
Yeah.
how sloppy I would be, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't be, which I think is interesting.
And
But
it seems like what's his name, Kragers, Zach Kragers, I believe, is the director. um if, I think, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but he directed Barbarian, which I really loved, and he also directed Weapons, I believe,
oh, interesting. I haven't. I've
which are
downloaded it. I haven't watched it yet.
both critically acclaimed. Like, and I can speak at least about Barbarian, is that like it was one of the best movies I saw of that year. And knowing that Resident Evil is taking their film adaptation like seriously, like
Quote unquote. It's like you
Wha-
can only take it so seriously.
well, when you're hiring
I
a
think it's the
director
right-
who's making a lot of
Yeah.
like accolades for himself,
in
it's
a
a good
similar genre.
it's a good sign. And
Yeah.
he's not like treating it like a silly thing. He seems to be a big fan of Resident Evil. He's talked at length about how much he played Resident Evil 4 over and over and over again.
Nice.
Which is very common experience for Resident Evil fans. Like once you play it once, you're like, I gotta do it again. Resident Evil 4 is a particularly good game, Josh. I think you'd like it.
We're probably gonna do it when that movie comes out. We might be able to do that. That might be our first one in the theater since Advent Children.
Yeah. I definitely have to talk about it.
Yeah, little preview for
Yeah.
I don't know, a year or so down the line,
Maybe-
whenever that's coming.
Maybe this is a good opportunity for you to play some of the classic Resident Evil games. I think you would like Resident Evil 1 straight out of the PS1.
Well,
It's very different from the remake
Yeah.
that you played.
But anyways, little again teasers for later. This Shadow Dungeon stuff. The one room I don't love is my Zelda Taxis room.
Yeah.
You gotta push the block. It's clever. You walk in this room and there's 2 giant spike crusher things.
They remind me of meat tenderizer hammers.
Yeah, meat tenderizer meets an Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them, and then there's a block, and there's a thing on the wall that's basic. Was it? I don't remember the exact wording, but it just basically is your clue of like, if you can stop those things from falling all the way down, you can get through. And then there's a big pushing block for you to do some taxes with. It's extreme. It's one of those puzzles like I mentally solve it, and then it takes me another 2 or 3 minutes to physically solve it. It drives me nuts. Like, but one of the only ones like that in this dungeon.
Yeah. And this is a welcome change of pace from the Water Temple, which was all esoteric and thought provoking
Yeah.
and like in like a problem solving way, thought provoking.
Yeah, it's like each room is its own unique sort of presentation of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And the water dungeon's presentation of puzzle is like, did you miss something?
Yes.
Maybe you should go back. Whereas this is like
Like
it's in the room.
fix
You'll
this
figure it
room.
out.
Yeah, yeah. You can figure it out, buddy.
Yeah. And it's kind of just row after row of that. Man, such a nice, refreshing change of pace from the water dungeon.
This the Shadow Temple reminds me a lot of like classic Zelda temples and
Yeah.
dungeons. Like where it's like the only puzzle is defeat the enemies or get all of the items in order to open the next door. But like that there's like you walk in a room, the door closes behind you and locks. You're like, oh, I just have to solve a puzzle.
Yeah,
And
or
it's
like
in this room.
Poke around, find another exit into a secret room. I think happens a couple times here, similar to Zelda 1.
This temple is guilty of one of my chief complaints about the Zelda series in general, where there's a treasure chest and it just has rupees in it. It's like I don't need actual treasure. I just need a key or a key item.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
a
something
rich
I
man. I don't need this money.
exactly. I think is much better done in Breath of the Wild, where like each shrine has at least one treasure chest.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like
If you poke around, you
reach-
can find a
and-
secret one.
if you reach the shrine at like the point where the game thinks you're going to reach it, it's going to be something that's like just a little better than what you have, or like it's going to be really useful to you.
Yeah.
A
more powerful weapon or a shield or
Yeah.
maybe a piece of clothing.
And then as our family household is like very end game Breath of the Wild now, and they're like scooping up shrines that they've missed. It's funny, like we'll find a treasure and be like, oh, who cares about like a 14 power bow?
Right.
Like, but like it's spread out enough that like as you're progressing through the game, you're finding useful stuff versus what you're saying here, where it's like, okay, 5 rupees, I don't care.
It's almost like a trick.
Like
it's like a gotcha moment.
I think that happens in this room I've pulled up here. There's bomb flowers. You have to throw them into a vat, an urn,
A cauldron.
a cauldron. That's the word. And then it blows it up, and you just get a little treat.
Yep,
I don't think it's a key, right?
I think you're right, man.
We're gonna find out in about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
here when
let's
this
watch
thing
together,
blows.
everybody.
Who cares?
Boy.
Let's just.
Oh, look, nothing. Oh, there's a key. There is a key.
Okay, that one is important.
Good. I'm glad for our sake that was important.
But there's a few others that are like that, where it's like, oh, there's some rupees. All right.
At least it looked like there was a key.
Yeah, I think it's down there. Well, but moving right along.
Yeah. Whoop whoop. So next I guess comes the fairy, the Ferry, not Navi.
Yeah, the fairy is man, discovering this as a kid was like probably one of the best moments in the game, because it's the rest of this stuff. If you're paying attention, it's creepy, right? Like if you're paying attention and noticing, like, oh, why is this place like made out of bones? Why is all like? But in the low res graphics of the time, you might have been missing it. The fairy is just such a huge set piece that it's impossible to miss. That like, oh, there's something very of the dead, of the spirit world going on here that is not normal. And you got to ride it and fight some Stelphos, and I'm real bad at that.
Fighting Stelphos is one of my favorite parts of the game because it's like, and I think this is why I've never played a From Software game, but I'm about to dip my toes into the Elden Ring, their game, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it because I've always really enjoyed the complex mechanics of like fighting a one-on-one really tough enemy in this type of game.
Yeah.
I think I'll respond well to it if it's what I believe the game play is.
I will take take this opportunity to give like one guideline tip is there is no shame. Like it is a certain type of player, and I am this player that like to get through one of those games requires like research.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like and it's like because and the way those games are designed, it's not like you just pull up the guide real quick and say, what's the hack to cheese this boss? It's like,
Sure.
oh no, like research like where should I have gone first? What should I have gotten there?
Yeah.
Why should I have gone there? When should I have gone there? And like sort of putting it all together on like a conspiracy map almost of like, why am I just brick walling against this boss? Like, just a tip for you or anybody else who gets stuck in one of those games, because like the first probably 20 to 30 hours, I was like, this is insane and stupid. And now I know whenever I'm playing one of those, I'm like, no, I just got to dive into a wiki and just like explore the world and figure out another way around instead of just like bashing my head against it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, there's no shame here. Camp Video Games. You know, the way you can tell I have no shame is
Yeah.
I have a podcast called Camp Video Games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like the real freaks are like the people who figure all that out in the first place. Because it's like you'll find stuff where you're like, you read like how to do it, and then you go do it, and you go, who figured this out?
Yeah, I'm excited. That might be that might be me. I might be that guy.
Yeah, I'd be fascinated to see if you're one of these people, one of these like just freaks who can focus up and just figure it out on their own.
I'm not good at many things in life, but I am pretty good at video games.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the ferry, one of the coolest set pieces in Ocarina of Time. Yeah. It rolls on a river of fog. First of all,
yeah, it's so weird, and like it comes out of nowhere. Like we're like, wait, we're going to a secret location. What is this place? Yeah,
it really
all
feels
the
like
mystery of this is very, very confounding.
It really plays the river Styx concept of like it's taking you to the other side. Like once you're over here, this is a little less like of mortal man's space, you know.
Welcome to heck.
And like I've always wondered, it feels when you're on it as if like this thing's going to keep going until I beat these Stalfos. Like in my brain, as a kid, like it felt like, is this thing just on a loop and it's not gonna take me until I beat them? But it really is like a physical space where I think they just timed it very, very well. Also, the first time I forgot to jump off, which is funny. But I had to do it again. It's just like timed very well that like kind of no matter what skill level, like you're probably going to deal with these Stalfos by the time it gets done.
Yeah. And I noticed in your first fight, you managed to just knock one of the Stalfos off the boat.
Yeah.
That's so satisfying.
So you go to the other side, and then there's a corridor of basically like a loop of puzzle rooms you have to do to get the boss key.
Right. And you're going to be dealing with the what are the hand monsters called?
Oh, I don't recall a name, but they've been here since Zelda 1. They'll take you to the beginning of the dungeon if you're not careful.
Right. Master Hand? No, that's
Master Hand.
That's from Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. This is where he originated. They just put a glove on him for Smash Bros. So they would have looked less creepy.
Well, and speaking of Master Hand, that's like very similar to who you're about to fight, which is the boss of the Shadow Temple. It's our old buddy Bongo Bongo.
Bongo Bongo. Well, first to get there, you have to solve this puzzle that I was a real goofus on this playthrough. That like I realized that the last thing you got to do before you really get to basically the corridor to the boss is there's on the other side of where the ferry stops, there's another little chasm of fog.
Yep.
Right. And the way you're supposed to do this, I'm even forgetting now.
There's a column.
There's bomb flowers.
There's a column with a bunch of bomb flowers
Yeah.
at the base, and you need to ignite those bomb flowers to change the landscape, which is an interesting, like you do have that happen besides just using bombs to break boulders or bombable walls. There's that one instance in Dodongo's cavern where you use the bomb flowers to bring the stairs down, which was always like one of my favorite parts of that temple. Because I would always like to like ignite it, but then have Link like turn around and like walk away from the explosion like it's an action movie. But yeah, that took me a while too. This Shadow Temple
I
like puzzle
so
because it's
my
just not what you're used to doing in this game.
it's a very proto Breath of the Wild puzzle
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, yeah.
manipulating the environment to change things and cause chain reactions.
Do
My
you need to
problem,
use the fire arrow? Sorry, I interrupted.
I didn't need. I got to rewatch the footage to remember how I eventually did this because the way I've always done this, when I was a kid, I would have the Scarecrow song by this point,
Yeah,
and you can play it on the other side where there's another piece of construction, and it'll put a Scarecrow up to like some flowers on, or not flowers, hearts on a ledge,
yeah.
and then you can jump down from there.
Nice.
And and so I was like, I know this isn't a requirement. I know you know, and like I had the footage up. I'm just like doing all this dumb stuff to try. And
Yeah, yeah,
figure it out.
yeah.
I
All
thi-
right, you don't even have the fire arrows.
no, I didn't have fire arrows. Didn't have the Scarecrow song. I think I just shot him with regular arrows.
Does that
Eventually,
does that work?
yeah.
I'm really
I'm
interested
gonna
to see
pull it
what you
up.
did here.
Hold
Buddy.
on. Keep yapping. I'll figure it out what I
When
did.
I think about like the different types of like puzzles, like the indication in Zelda games that a thing is bombable and that bombs will have an effect on it is that you're going to see cracks in it,
Mhm.
and you see that clearly on the column that you're trying to bring down.
Yeah.
And when you're like problem solving, like you only have so many options of like what you can do to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think for my playthrough I used the fire arrows because I went through the effort of getting them, which isn't that big of a deal. You just shoot an arrow at the sun after you beat the water temple.
Yeah, which I missed. Regular arrows, I think, work just as well.
Interesting.
Which it's not super obvious or intuitive, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see, is that what did it? Well,
Oh,
there's
you
a
missed.
swing and a miss.
Hey,
Yeah.
good job.
I've never done it that way. In the almost 30 years this game has been out, I never knew you could just shoot those bombs with arrows and get to the boss.
I'm gonna have to, if I could get a working, well, maybe I'll just bust out my N64 actually and like start playing another game of it.
Mhm.
But I want to find out if other bomb flowers are arrow ignitable.
Yeah. But you began to mention the boss.
Bongo Bongo.
Bongo Bongo.
So
I
you're on a giant drum head.
I did bad. I did
That's okay,
real
buddy.
bad.
Let's talk about what Bongo Bongo is, because this is a strange. This is like
Really
one of the
good boss
coolest,
design.
one of the coolest boss fights of the game. Bongo Bongo is two two amputated hands that are being controlled by this like weird muscular, like it kind of reminds me of the what was the monster from Stranger Things
Oof.
season 1, the Demigorgon.
Yeah.
It kind of
That's
looks
a
like
good
that,
comparison.
but so Bongo Bongo's playing the drums, and it's
And you're standing on the drum.
yeah, and it's just like you need to, this is Andros logic.
Yeah. Hit
Where
the
you gotta
hands,
you gotta
reveal the
stun
face.
the hands so that you can hurt the eyeball.
It's
Miyamoto's got a thing.
So I don't recall this being nearly this hard. I was fighting the camera so much on this boss fight. I think as a kid, I don't know if I was just better with the arrows or what the deal was, because what I seem to have discovered is this fight goes quite quick. If you can arrow hand, he comes at you, swing, and 3 or 4 rounds of that, and it's over.
Yeah.
But shooting the hands with the arrows was extremely difficult for me in this playthrough, and I don't know why. Like, I just was always struggling to get the camera to a place where I would see them, or I'd pull my bow out, and suddenly the camera would be pointed the opposite direction, and then a hand's coming at me, and it grabs me and throws me. And if you get grabbed by these hands, like, it throws you against the wall, you lose 2 or 3 hearts, and then you have to run back up to the drum platform, and you're in this poison that continues to drain hearts.
Right.
So it's going to cost you like 5 or 6 hearts every time you get swooped up by a hand. It is hard for a Zelda Ocarina of Time fight.
It is hard, and it looks like from your footage you decided, F this, I gotta go get some fairies.
It's always, any fan of Ocarina of Time knows that when you are having a tough time, you go back to the forest temple, you fight that moblin that's blocking it, and you go in the fairy fountain, which I also had trouble fighting that moblin. He kept hitting me before I could get to him.
I am so judgmental, Josh. I can't help but just be like,
How bad
why
I
are
am?
you doing it like this?
Well, I think I may have been out of arrows, or I just forgot that if you shoot this guy with 3 arrows, he goes down really easy.
Yeah.
I have lost my muscle memory for like what distance is safe to be away from him. Please, everyone, don't make fun of me. It's been like 25 years since I played this game.
Yeah. It's okay. I know I'm in the wrong if I have judgmental thoughts here.
I'm not great at it.
Live and let live.
But I'm good enough. I'm better than Anyway, so I got some fairies. I tried again. I failed again.
Oh my gosh. Let's scrub ahead to the footage where you actually beat this boss.
Well, that's a whole other video because
my
I got
goodness.
frustrated. I had a gamer rage moment over Ocarina of Time.
Hey, if you're not having fun, you're not playing.
So I got to pull up a whole other video for that. But I did eventually beat him. So
I love the design of this underground fairy fountain because it's very Grecian. It's like it looks like you could find this in the necropolis or the Acropolis. I mean, with these the pillars and this pool of water. It's just one of those appeals that I think. One of my favorite films of all time is Jason and the Argonauts, which set a lot of standards for like the sword and sorcery genre. And I know it was like a direct influence for the Legend of Zelda as well, like specifically with like the Stalfos and the harpies are a big inspiration for Zelda enemies later on. And anytime I see like a little like Greek inspired like set design or like something of that reminds me of Jason and the Argonauts and Legend of Zelda, it always makes me smile.
For some reason, that makes me think of like Skyward Sword as the best utilization of that, even though it's probably my least favorite Zelda game.
I need to replay it because I think with fresh eyes, I might enjoy it again. I might enjoy it more because I played through probably like 3/4 of Skyward Sword, and then I was like, okay, they're sending me on another fetch quest.
Yeah,
and I didn't have the patience for it at that point.
It's a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, there's a manga.
Okay, so I finally beat it. The footage is a little choppy because I was on a different computer. It's a whole thing.
It's okay.
But I mean, I basically used the same strategy. I just got a little luckier, but I refilled all my arrows because thank goodness, because I blasted through probably all of them in this fight. I was missing a lot. Shouts out because I had some folks from the New Save Collective Discord crew. Everybody should go join. They're very nice people, cheering me on. That was the only reason I made it through. And I'm glad this footage is up. The way I'm playing it on this emulator is you got to use the touch screen all the time in Ocarina of Time for DS. And the controls are so messy. Because this is the first time you really need to be wielding and switching between more than like 2 items is this fight. And that also makes it really hard because you need the Lens of Truth. You need the arrows. I think you need the hover boots. I think they keep you a little more stable. I don't know.
I did not use them for this fight.
I found myself using them on and off. And then if you run out of arrows, you've got to switch over to, I think the hook shot I found could help a little with the hands.
Sure.
It was a mess. What's the easy way to beat this? Get good?
Yeah,
I'm just like why? I just felt like I was fighting the camera a lot more than necessary in this fight. It was rough.
It's a difficult boss fight. I think this fight would be easier if you went through the trouble of going through the Gerudo training ground and doing that whole optional dungeon to get the ice arrows, because the ice arrows are effective on Bongo Bongo's hands.
Oh,
and
well, I mean, one arrow does freeze it.
but I think it
Does
freezes
it
it
longer?
longer than the stun lock it does when you hit it with a normal arrow.
Yeah, I also am realizing like I was always super optimized playing this as a kid, so I would have the big Goron sword by the time I got to this fight, which means you probably only need to have him fly at you like twice and the fight's over. Man, What a struggle.
Yeah, but you did it, buddy.
It's sort of. I got through
Eventually,
it.
you did it.
Yeah. And that's Bongo Bongo. Very good boss design. Very good fight. But goes back to my critique of like, if you modernize this game, so much of my challenge in this fight was just like, where's my camera? I want a right analog stick.
Right,
And I
right.
would ace this, you know?
Playing my experience playing it on the Switch, I had a little bit of difficulty adjusting to the controls just because I'm so used to the N64 controller for this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I did find I had less difficulty adapting to the control scheme. And again, I've played this game like many times, whereas this is your like second playthrough. Or maybe third. I forget how many times
Of all
you said.
time?
Yeah.
Oh, I played it over and over and over as a kid.
Oh,
But then
okay.
it's just like I just put it away and never touched it again.
You grew up.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up.
It's not like.
But I found myself using the Z targeting to like always bring it right back behind you, so you've got a proper over the shoulder third person.
Yeah.
And like where I'm constantly doing that. Whereas my instinct is to use the right control stick to bring that camera around like I'm used to with modern games. But I did adapt, and I was like able to be like bloop 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 and just keep bringing it behind you, and it gives you a lot more control. I think that's the only advice I have in like making the game easier during combat is to just kind of overuse of the Z targeting makes it not for the enemies targeting the wise, but just for the camera centering wise.
Which is it's kind of how I play, and as I've joked, I think in this series, that's how my wife played Breath of the Wild for the first like 30 hours. Just constantly watching her pull her shield out to like flip the camera. I'm like, no, you got to start using the other stick, and it got a little better over time.
Yeah. So you defeat
But that
Bongo.
was literally her first game ever with a right stick camera.
Nice.
You know?
Hey, that's a great intro.
Yeah.
So
it's a little too good of an intro. It's like, okay, now we're up here. There's like
yeah.
nowhere to go but down. Oh, she wants. Wait, is the Chibis trying to talk? No, she just said hi. I thought that was somebody else.
So you defeat Bongo Bongo, and then hey, look, it's our old pal Impa, who is the Sage of Shadow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She gives you your shadow MacGuffin
medallion,
and that's about the. Well, actually, this is. I felt like I was getting more of the lore of the like why and how to like save everybody from Impa than I got from anybody else. I don't remember the exact lines. This is where she tells you about how like how and why she ran away with Zelda.
Right. But we don't know where they went. We talked about this last episode.
Yeah, but she gives you like just a little bit more taste of like, no, Zelda is safe somewhere. I can't tell you where yet or why, but you get a little bit more info about the state of the quote unquote modern world of Adult Link, and like how the process of fixing it has to play out. Whereas everybody else is like, whoa, I'm a sage. This is pretty cool.
Is this what being dead's like? Yeah. Oh God. Tell my family I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's a step forward story wise, this little dialogue with Impa. So that's good, but it's still not that deep. The game never gets very deep.
No, I'm really looking forward to the manga to see how they handle this type of stuff.
Yeah. And so you get your MacGuffin. And that's that. After this, I did the big Goron's trade quest.
Oh, you did it!
I spent the rest of the night. Well, I don't know. Like it was just like I'll go through this. Because I've been playing this, I normally stream like in our living room on the TV where I just typically play video games. Yeah.
We'll link to Carl's manager below.
Yes, but this is running off my laptop, and because you have to use the touch screen. My laptop's like, I lay on the couch. The laptop's like 2 or 3 feet away. I think we've talked about this. And you got to use mouse and keyboard for touch screen.
Yeah. These are manufacturer problems, by the way. You could just play the normal game and not have any problems.
Yeah, but I wanted to see the 3DS remake, right?
Yeah, of course. And it looks so good. It's definitely worth the hassle. This looks like, go ahead.
Well, and so, like, there's a pretty good emulator for it. But I switched to my upstairs computer to play it because one, I was like, it's in my office. I can start earlier. I don't got to wait for my family to quit watching Family Matters and Golden Girls before I get to play.
Yeah. Oh my God. The little crossover. Link opens the door of time and then inadvertently gives access to Ganondorf. Link's like, did I do that?
Yeah. So I was playing upstairs and because I was like, oh, I could just sit at the computer and the mouse will just be there. I won't have to reach over to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trackpad
yeah.
to use and to use everything. Well, anyway, I was like upstairs and like, oh, it'll be easier to fight Bongo Bongo because the mouse is right here to switch between all the items I need. And then I don't know, like I don't get people who stream video games in like a computer chair for hours at a time because one, I got really uncomfortable in that chair real quick, but also I guess the emulator that I'm using like updated on that computer, and there's some setting that made it look very sloppy. It was just a mess to try to play this game in a different space and setting. But I still went ahead and I did the big Goron sword quest because when you come out of the Shadow Temple, I just like walked through Kakariko and ran into the girl who's like, "I got this egg."
That's right. I was about to ask what starts this
Yes.
path. You get the egg for the cuckoo, and the girl that's the cuckoo lady, who gives you one of the bottles earlier in the game. She her brother has been missing. This is the blue cuckoo, right? Am I getting this order right? Her
It's
brother's that creepy
yeah,
goblin looking guy that you
yeah.
can talk to. That's like you like I hate people. Everyone's ugly, and he goes off to the Lost Woods,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bad idea if you are living in this world because
Because you're gonna get lost.
you're gonna turn into a Stalfos.
Yeah.
And uh, so basically, the cuckoo lady gives you a normal cuckoo
No, she gives
or
you
a
an
cuckoo
egg.
egg, and you raise it well, and it comes
Yeah.
back, and you bring it back to her, and then she's like, "Oh, you're good with birds." Oh, speaking of, I've got baby chickens right now.
Oh, we
We
saw
just we
those.
just
We love
incubated
it.
a bunch of eggs. I've got 10 new baby chickens. They're
We saw
so
some
cute.
video of that today. It's
So
very
cute.
cute.
She gives you a blue cuckoo named
Mm-hmm.
Kojiro.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish his name was Kojima. But that's okay. He can't be in everything. He's not all knowing that way.
Yeah.
The omnipresent Kojima. But Kojiro is, I mean, the path to the big Goron sword is a bunch. This is the most side questy that this game gets, as far as I can say. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, oh, you've got this. It turns into an updated version of the trading quest from Link's Awakening.
Yeah. It's a much more streamlined version of it that once you get to the point in the game that you have access to all the spaces that you
Yeah.
need for the trade quest, you can knock it out in probably faster than me. I did it in about 30 minutes.
Nice.
I think.
Yeah, I mean the main difficulty after you've done all these things that takes you all across Hyrule, which I love. Like another
Yeah.
reason to just go visit these places that you've already kind of solved and you don't need to do it anymore. But you the most difficult one is getting the fresh frog eyes, because they have a timer on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a timer on a few of them. There's
The medicine,
the mushroom,
Yes.
which I tried. I was like, I can just teleport there. I forgot it punishes you for teleporting.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
make that very clear. It's just as soon as you teleport, it'll be like your item went bad.
Right. And it's fun. It's just a little. It's like it. What the game did to prepare you for this is it made you race Dompe for the hook shot. That's the first time it would be like, don't trip, don't get stuck, go. It's the only racing mechanic besides the opponent race, of course.
Mm-hmm. So you have to do it for the mushroom to the old woman in Kakariko. You have to do
Then you take the mushroom to Kakariko to the potion lady. The potion lady turns it into medicine that you bring back to the Lost Woods to give to the goblin boy, but he disappears. You give the medicine to a Kokiri girl who she's like, hey, that mushroom's from our forest, give it back, basically.
mhm.
And you give that to her, and I forget what she gives you then, but it's
She
like
gives
one
you
thing after
his,
another.
A miter saw type
Oh
thing
yes,
that
yeah,
you take
'cause
to the construction guy in Gerudo Valley.
I believe that so the construction foreman that you talk to, who's head of all those construction guys, I believe he is the Cuckoo Lady's father, and the potion lady is the Cuckoo Lady's mother slash the Goblin guys. Uh, those are their parents.
Makes some sense.
Yeah. But it's not, I don't think it's directly said that that's what happens, but if you pay attention to the dialogue, it heavily infers that this is a family living at Kakariko Village. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Families tend to live together.
And so I guess like when you get to the guy in Gerudo Valley, that's probably the furthest. If I'm just thinking through, that's like the furthest item barrier of like what you need to do this quest, which honestly I think is just Epona, because you can jump into Gerudo Valley with Epona over the broken bridge.
Yes, which you can get as soon as you become an adult.
Yeah. Am I missing anything? Because like I don't think you need the long shot anywhere.
You can use the long shot instead of Epona, which is how the game kind of meters it too, where it's like if you're doing the temples in order, then you would have the long shot by the time it's time to go to the spirit temple. But that's another episode.
Yeah.
But you get you give the saw back to the carpenter, and he gives you
the broken Big Goron sword.
Yes. And I bought the Goron's knife from Goron, not Big Goron, but Goron, who
the guy stuck in a hole.
The guy who's stuck in a hole. I don't, because he ripped me off. I spent $200 on this Goron's knife, and it breaks within like 2 hits.
Oh, interesting.
But
is it just the Big Goron sword?
It's just the Big Goron sword. But what I do like, and I think I might if I can manage to save my save file in this gameplay, I would like to just keep that and use that to deal the damage to Ganon proper during the fight. I want to see what type of damage the broken Goron's knife can do, because I think it scales down to the Kokiri's sword, so it's weaker than the Master Sword when you're an adult.
Interesting,
but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know that, campers.
Yeah. So once we get the broken Big Goron sword, go to the top of Death Mountain, and you wake up Big Goron, who is such a fantastically hilarious set piece. I love that he's just the size of the mountain.
Yeah, bigger than any boss you fight in this game.
Yeah. And when you first discover him, he's like wiping his eyes because they're irritated from the volcano exploding or something.
Oh, that's right. I love that detail.
It's adorable. So the rest of this quest is about getting him eye drops so that he can get back to work.
Eye drops made from frogs.
Yeah. And you have to take his like prescription to King Zora, who gives you a frog.
And then you take the frog to the laboratory next to Hyrule Lake.
Yeah. To Lake
Hylia,
that
is. Hyrule Lake.
And the guy at Lake Hylia, the weird guy with the bulging eyeball.
With the shark in his basement.
Yeah, he wants to eat the frog.
I mean,
instead of like make something out of it, which is like what's implied, I guess.
Oh, Josh, we've got to find a way to talk about the Muppet movie.
Oh, yeah, it's
eating frogs
movie of all time.
Just frog legs. Sorry,
there's plenty of Muppet games. I had them growing up.
I had I don't know if I've ever played a Muppet game.
But the final thing, the real final challenge is, it's clever that they did this. Basically, can you get from opposite ends of the map?
Can you get from Lake Hylia to the top of Death Mountain in a couple of minutes?
Yeah. It's not difficult if you're riding Epona. You just kind of hop on, and the hardest part is like getting through the area where the rocks are falling, and you need to climb that wall with like the Skulltulas to get to Big Goron at the very, very.
I know there are certain climbable walls that are hook-shotable. And I know not all climbable walls.
Oh, don't worry, I tried this one. It's not.
Okay. Good to know.
I was on top of that. I thought the same thing, and I was wrong. But I was not at all struggling. You see, I'm at the wall. I got a minute and a half left.
You killed it, buddy. I'm so proud of you.
This is like this section of this game, this trade quest, for whatever reason, is the core memory of this game that most stuck with me, of like, I know exactly what I'm doing.
The stakes are high and the payoff is higher.
I guess, yeah, I think that could be why. Because it's not like, most people's memories of a video game are strongest at the beginning
Oh,
because
of
like
course.
we start games more than we finish them,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But like this section of this game is that type of memory for me of like doing the trade quest, getting the big Goron sword like as fast as I can. How much of it can I do from memory? Which in this case, it was really funny. Like, because this was the night I was playing on my office computer,
Yeah.
and I came down and my family's like watching TV, and the guidebook you gave me was in here, and I was like, I need the guidebook for my video game. Duck.
Aw.
So I did just follow the guidebook to do it as fast as I could this time, but
I'm
I
glad,
did it.
I'm glad you're getting use out of that guidebook.
Yeah.
Nothing better than
That was the main-
than a physical guidebook to
rocks.
help you through a beloved video game.
I love it. The last step is you have to wait for him to make the sword, I guess.
Yep.
He gives you a proof of purchase, which is like a relief carving of a receipt
It's-
in a rock.
It's like straight out of the Flintstones.
It's
They're
so
like,
good.
here's your receipt.
Yeah, I love that detail.
Yeah. Speaking of love, I love talking about Ocarina of Time, but we got to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we do. Just love Big Goron, and he's I don't know. That's all.
Yeah. Campers, join us next time. We're going to talk about the Spirit Temple. Ooh,
Yeah.
Woo, the spirits.
Which I've not played yet. We've now caught up to my own playthrough.
Oh boy.
The part we just discussed was a few days ago. That's why I remembered it.
If you liked what you heard here, campers, be sure to subscribe, give us a comment, let us know what's your favorite part of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Mine's when I press start.
Every time I started up. I really liked hanging out with Big Goron on top of that mountain, waiting for my sword.
You know what would be really helpful in the fight against an evil giant pig is a good giant Goron.
Yeah.
Buddy, that would help. I know that in
Big
Majora's
Goron could
Mask,
just step on it and it'd be over.
what's the deal? What's the problem? What's the deal?
He's a pacifist. Look at his sweet doe eyes.
He's a weapons stealer.
He thinks he's just selling like kitchen knives.
That's right.
For
that's
guys,
right.
like for him, he's just selling like a steak knife.
Oh boy.
He doesn't realize this is like a weapon that like truly could take down a evil pig.
Yeah. And I guess it's more in line with like how like the Gorons are kind of they're the dwarf analog for this world where they're blacksmiths. They're natural blacksmiths because they've got a furnace. And their home is a furnace, so they could just melt and blacksmith steel.
Yeah,
no problem.
It's funny. It says when you get the Big Goron sword, this blade was forged by a master smith and won't break. Which, if you didn't buy that knife thing that you got,
yeah, you'd be like, "What do you?"
I mean, I hope not.
The Kokiri sword never broke. The master sword dodoesn't break until Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless like just came from Breath of the Wild, like. Why would I assume my weapon's gonna break?
Right.
Anyway, that's all for
that's
today.
all for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. That's all. Bye.
Peace out. We'll talk next episode. I don't know how to stop the recording because I can't.
Oh, leave this in.
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.